Week 9 of college football is on the horizon, and as we look forward to some big matchups, we take one final look back at our top 10 power rankings brought to you by our friends at Eckrich. This is a list now. We start off with number 10, Auburn Tigers. They have a big matchup this weekend with LSU. Bo Nix, quarterback, having his best performance to date this past weekend. They get the big win against Arkansas. Nix is perfect with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He has quite a few big-time throws in this one, something that we haven't really seen from his arsenal so far this year, and something that they'll need to definitely take advantage of if he can put it together against LSU for them to secure the upset. But Auburn Tigers, as good as they come on defense at multiple positions, they'll need a rock-solid game in Week 9 to compete as well. Number 9 on this list, the Florida Gators. Kyle Trask not performing very well from a pressured pocket. He's 4 of 6, but he averages just 3.5 yards per attempt, and his interception came when pressure was registered. The offensive line needs to tighten that up, especially when they go up against Georgia in a few weeks, because that will be their real litmus test for the rest of the year. That game is looming large for the SEC race, but also for the Gators' top 10 ranking. Kyle Trask, though, can get it better, right the ship, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about what he can do against Georgia at a later time. Number 8 on this list, they're off this past week. They have a big matchup in one of our games of the week against Michigan. It is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Mr. Julian Okwara has at least 5 pressures in the past 3 straight games, including 2 games of 8 pressures. He has been a terror off the edge. Him and Khalid Kareem really coming on strong as the season progresses. They'll need him against Michigan, and they'll need their entire defense to stymie the Michigan offense as well, and a couple of plus plays from Ian Book at quarterback. But right now, firmly entrenched at number 8, just one spot below the team that beat them, actually, the Georgia Bulldogs. Not necessarily looking very sharp. It was raining. There was a large weather effect in their past game this past weekend. However, they get the win. They, again, have the week off, and they look large to their game against Florida. The Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville is a big game for the SEC race coming up here. Andrew Thomas, though, the 3rd highest graded tackle in all of college football, anchors the offensive line. They get really good play from DeAndre Swift this past weekend as well, which they will need if Jake Fromm continues to struggle from the pocket throwing the ball. He has a clean pocket more often than not. However, he has struggled the past few weeks, so they'll need a little bit better play against the vaunted Florida defense as well when they do match up. But Georgia at number 7, and at number 6, the Penn State Nittany Lions. They get a signature win this past weekend against Michigan. KJ Hamler is averaging 17.6 yards per catch and over 7 yards after the catch per reception as well, truly becoming maybe one of the Big Ten's top playmaking receivers, top playmakers even on offense. Hamler to Clifford to Hamler, Hamler from Clifford. However you look at it, their quarterback, Sean Clifford, has a big-time throw waiting to happen, and he has a dynamic man in Hamler to get the ball to. Big game also looms large for them as well against Ohio State later in the year, but right now Penn State proving they are indeed truly a top 10 team from top to bottom. Getting into the top 5, this team and this guy needs no introduction. Jalen Hurts, the Oklahoma Sooners, all they do is score points and all they do is handle their business. They got past their biggest test 2 weeks ago in Texas. They have a game looming large, possibly between one of Iowa State and their good defense. They need to not look over any opponents on their way here, but right now Jalen Hurts is the 2nd highest graded quarterback overall. He is the 2nd highest quarterback in terms of passer rating from a clean pocket, and he has the 3rd highest passer rating in terms of passer rating from non-play action pass attempts. Those 2 last metrics are the 2nd and 3rd most stable metrics from week to week, season to season. Jalen Hurts is doing it and doing it from stable metrics, things you can count on and look forward to week in and week out. Firmly why he is one of our Heisman favorites after week 8. Another Heisman favorite, not on everybody's list, but he's on ours, Chase Young. This guy is truly dominant along the edge for Ohio State, and Mike Reiner detailed it. If he doesn't get pressure, it's because the offense is scheming against him. First play against Northwestern last Friday night, sack, quick win. He wins 33% of his pass rushing snaps, and then after that, all Northwestern does is roll the pocket, throw a screen, run in the opposite way. They truly game planned against him to not face Chase Young, and this is all to mention, or not to mention, Justin Fields, J.K. Dobbins, Chris Olave, a very talented offensive line, a very talented secondary that will hear multiple names called in the 2020 NFL Draft. The Ohio State Buckeyes, watch out, climbing everybody's rankings as a true threat in the Big Ten and in the entire country. Number 3, also a team needs no introduction, and Broadway Joe Burrow also needs no introduction. Joe Burrow, the highest graded quarterback overall, the highest graded quarterback on deep pass attempts, the highest graded quarterback on non-play action pass attempts. But if you really break it down and go through the PFF depths, every bit of data we have on quarterbacks from 8 weeks of college football action, you would be hard-pressed to not find Joe Burrow in the top 2, top 3, top 5. Can't find him anywhere but the top 5 in every one of our metrics. That is how great Burrow has been all season long for the LSU Tigers, and this is how it's looking like it's going to be for the rest of the year. Week 11 will show a lot about LSU, but they have to get by Auburn in Week 9 before they can look forward towards the Alabama Crimson Tide at number 2, slipping a spot from number 1. They regained number 1. They lost it this week. They lost their quarterback this week. Tua's first ever game that he started that he did not throw a touchdown pass. He leaves with a high ankle sprain, misses the rest of the game. Against Tennessee, they struggled. They get a great defensive touchdown at the end to score up those 35 points, but they do have the most talented receiving core in all of college football, led by Jerry Jeudy, likely the best all-around receiver in all of college football, if not just the best route runner. These guys are doing it before the catch, breaking from routes, separating from defensive backs, and then running after the catch as well. As talented as they come, they get Arkansas this week, and then a bye week to rest up Tua's ankle sprain and get after it Week 11 against LSU. Regaining the top spot in our list, as I mentioned, the Clemson Tigers, led by Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. Trevor Lawrence has not looked necessarily the best, but last 2 games have been very good against Florida State, against Louisville. But when necessary, Etienne has carried this offense. He's got 44 missed tackles forced on the ground. He's gaining 5.19 yards after contact per attempt, and remarkably, he has 33 conversions on his 97 attempts. Those are first downs or touchdowns, a remarkable number, an astounding efficiency for Etienne on the ground as well. And the way they roll, their linebackers and their safeties have given opposing offenses fits the entire season. They should remain double-digit favorites for every game on their schedule and roll into the ACC championship game at 12-0, truly looking more and more like that number 1 overall team over the past year and a half now, it seems. So there it is, though, the top 10 headline, though, by the Clemson Tigers, regaining that top spot. For more on all top 25 teams, head over to PFF.com and be sure to sign up for the $1 Million Challenge over at EckrichFootball.com.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.